Hello everybody, Lori is inventing again. I'm going to make something I have never made before, so I'm making it up, and it's going to be a red cabbage coleslaw. Red cabbage has got so many nutrients, so I thought, what flavors would I like in my red cabbage coleslaw, and what would I like? So bear with me, folks, because I'm going to write it down once I know what I'm doing. I have a super delicious thick balsamic vinegar. I'm for the start in this bowl with the dressing. So it's very thick, see? So I'm gonna start with like a quarter cup of that. And then I'm gonna put a splash of maple syrup. So my sweetness for my coleslaw will be maple syrup. And I'm gonna taste it before. This is good olive oil. So I'm gonna put about equal amounts coleslaw or olive oil and balsamic. I'm going to put some salt, some pepper, and I'm going to put some Dijon. So we've got balsamic, Dijon, olive oil. This is a heaping teaspoon. Let's see how we go. And I had one more thing. Oh, I know. I was going to smash a clove of garlic into it. What do you think? So balsamic sweetness will be the maple syrup. The Dijon is going to emulsify, but I'm going to mince up this garlic and put that in there. Then I'm going to invent a red cabbage, fresh coleslaw with lots of nutrients. I'm going to add to it. Today is Friday, and tomorrow I think I'm going to make some steaks on the grill, or maybe sausage peppers, or maybe a pulled pork. I don't know. I'm going to whip something up tomorrow. But this coleslaw I'm going to like. I know I'm going to like it, because everything, what do I tell you? If you like everything that's in there, you're going to like your coleslaw. So if there's some ingredient that I put, look how thick that is. So I don't know if that's enough, but I don't want a lot. I don't want it to be overpowered by the dressing. And I know this balsamic we bought in South Carolina, it's a little olive shop in, jeez, put that in a sneaker and I'd eat it. So you're not going to want to watch me shred coleslaw, so I'm going to start with, I've got the dressing done, and then we're going to keep going, putting ingredients into this dressing for red cabbage coleslaw. What do you think? Yum. I'll be back. So I've shredded this giant bowl of cabbage, and now I'm going to do my little chopper that I used, that you saw me do the last time. In my red cabbage coleslaw, the dressing is on the bottom, and I'm going to put fresh parsley and scallions in it. And then I have it's a Sam's Club, candied walnuts, cranberries, and pepitos, pumpkin seeds. So all of the ingredients in this cabbage or coleslaw is going to be something that is really good for you. I read, if you look up red cabbage, the nutrients are phenomenal. Yes, cooked. This would be delicious cooked, because I've made red cabbage on here before cooked. It should be in my, I always tell you this, if you want to see my videos, it's easier to look on YouTube, because they're in newest to oldest, and they're named titles, so you can go back right through and see which one. Thanksgiving dinner is there, Christmas cookies are there, carrot cake, all the fattening things that my granddaughter wanted me to do videos for, and now my friends do, and also all the healthy recipes. But I make red cabbage a lot. I love red cabbage. I used to buy it in a jar, but I found out how easy it is to make, and I make it stewed with red cabbage, apples, and onions. Serve it with a good pot roast, especially in the winter. It's so good. I actually do have some containers of that froze, because when I make it, you know the drill in this house. I'm the only one that eats it unless my family's coming over, and I freeze things, because when I want to take out a little red cabbage to have on the side of some beef or whatever I feel like having it with, it's frozen and ready to go. But this is, I've never made a balsamic vinegared red cabbage coleslaw, and I will give you the honest review. Like all coleslaws, it's going to get better in the next couple of days. I make a coleslaw quite often, as you know. I do coleslaw or a bean salad, which I'm pretty due for. I try to keep a cold couple of salads, fresh fruits, all cut up and ready to be eaten. You haven't seen me make a potato salad, because I'll tell you why. I love it. But since I've had bariatric surgery, Dave doesn't eat it. And since I had bariatric surgery, I can't eat it. It's one of those things that if I eat a quarter cup, it almost feels like it chokes me. It's like pasta. I can't choke down pasta, and I love pasta. When I tell you a quarter cup is my serving, that is exactly, and I mean a quarter cup of cooked pasta, which for the rest of the world is really nothing. I'm doing it small because you know why. The same reason we just talked about. This would be good for everybody else in the world at this level, but I need it really little. I mean, I could have probably put it in food processor to make my life easier, but we're just about there. And then I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, and I'm going to give her a taste. And we're going to see. It's not going to taste like it's going to taste because, you know, I'm going to put fresh parsley in because I want the brightness of the parsley and the nutrients from the parsley. And I think it'll be delicious. Kind of chimichurri, I was thinking. I don't know. I make things up, guys. And scallions. This would be great with apples in it in the fall. I could do it today. I have 5 pears that are ready to be, I have to make something with. So, I mean, I was thinking giving my hand at a pear jam. I have never made pear jam. So I would, what better way to learn than to do it? So I could make a pear crisp. I did that in the fall, and I even made a healthier version on YouTube again, like I told you. I make healthy apple crisp, healthy pear crisp. They were on YouTube. I know for sure I did them. They were some sad looking pears that had gotten brown bruises in the fridge because I stored them in the fridge, and I knew they were fine because I had just bought them and there was nothing. I'm cutting up little scallions here. I've got 6 scallions. That was about a half a cup of parsley, and I'm going to add some cranberries and nuts into it, and I'm going to give her the taste, and then we'll see how we did with red cabbage coleslaw. Sorry, I can't look at you and cut my fingers off. All right. I know I'm trying to work fast. We're already at 7 minutes. Holy moly. And I know I lose people. You know, I don't blame you. I wouldn't watch me either. So, let's see what I have here. I'm going to get a cup out. Sam's Club, like I said, and this is in my freezer. I freeze it. It is, I think a cup is too much. So we're going to say a half a cup of pumpkin seeds, cranberries, and sesame seeds, it looks like. It's a seed and nut mixture that I keep in my freezer. And I sometimes add it to things like this. So now I'm going to see how we are. See if I can get you over here. I'll get close to you. So it's got the green. I could have put a shredded carrot in to give it some orange color. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I think it's going to be good the way it is. For me anyway. It's going to last me the whole week and get better with flavor. The garlic in the dressing. So the dressing was balsamic vinegar, 1/4 cup. Olive oil, 1/4 cup. 1 clove of smashed garlic. 1 teaspoon heaping of Dijon mustard. Salt and pepper. That was the dressing. Now we're going to taste to see if it's enough dressing. I can already see that it was. Everybody's coated. But it isn't going to taste like it's going to taste tomorrow. Guess what? It's so good. I am making so much flavor, you guys. The garlic, the balsamic, maple syrup. I'm going to say that was tablespoon, 2 tablespoons, I don't know. I measured with my eyes. Anyway, I'm making ahi tuna for me, and I'm having some of this with it tonight. So I don't care what it tastes like tomorrow, but I'm having the way it tastes tonight. So that is my delicious red cabbage coleslaw. Would you eat this? Let me know in the comments. Have a great night. So everyone, 4 ounces of ahi tuna. Do you like it? If you don't like it, move on because I'm going to cook it in seconds. I'm sorry, I got to throw the bag out. Over here in this little eensy skillet, I have a tablespoon of avocado oil because it has a high smoke point. So I'm taking this tuna out of the bag, and let me get a pot holder real quick. What happens with these little cast irons is they work wonders, but you can't touch the handle. So, all I'm going to do, I could do a blackened ahi tuna, but I'm going to do a little everything but the bagel seasoning on each side because it is everything that I want. Now I'm going to sear it, and that sizzle is what you want to hear. And I'm going to put some everything but the bagel seasoning on the other side. I like my tuna rare, and you're going to watch me make a tuna bowl, poke bowl. Let me find my spatula that I want. What I mean is, I have just made a video of homemade red cabbage coleslaw. So that's going to be part of my bowl. I've got a half a cup of frozen edamame that are thawed. So they're going to be part of my bowl. And then I make jasmine rice I make a cup full or whatever, and then I freeze little ones. And that's going to be part of my bowl. So, tell me, would you eat this for dinner? I mean, do you like ahi tuna? To me, the first time I had it, Jim Rose made it for me at Union Hall Inn, and I fell in love with ahi tuna. It tasted like you were having a steak, meat, something like that. I don't know. I just loved it. I can tell that I like the middle rare, so I can tell that this is not going to stick pretty soon. Like, I'm ready to flip her pretty quickly because I don't want it overcooked. See, she never stuck. Now you do this side, and we do the same on each side, and I leave the center rare, just like you do a steak. When you go to the lakeside, they have a nice, or Sam's. Sam's has a really good appetizer of ahi tuna. He serves it with a wasabi dressing and a little kind of a slaw on the side. So I was inspired to make it because super high protein, super low calories, super high in nutrition, and it's really good for me. So as you know, that's the place I've been going. This is way too much rice for me. This is a cup, so I can only eat about a quarter cup. So I'm going to put about a quarter cup in the corner of this. When that tuna comes out, I'm going to sprinkle my edamame. I'm going to heat them up because I think they're good the way they are. I'm going to sprinkle my edamame at the end, and I have some scallions also. So I'm letting that second side cook, and I will have a delicious ahi tuna bowl. I like to put a little soy sauce on my rice. I'm not going to put it on that coleslaw because that coleslaw is kicking good. My tuna is cooking away. I want to see when they meet in the center. Like, that is getting there. That's almost done for me. I don't know. You don't want it overcooked unless you like it all the way through. Then by all means, cook it all the way through. But the way it's served in a restaurant and the way it's served in my kitchen for me is rare. So I'm going to put her. I don't even let her rest. I just put her in my dish, put my edamame on, put some balsamic and some soy, and I'm going to have some scallions on it, and it's going to be delicious. I just know it is. She's done for me. I could tell. So I take that, turn her off, put her right in there, sprinkle my edamame all around, get my scallions, put them all around, and then I'm going to add a little more soy on top of the tuna. And we'll top her with a little balsamic. And the reason I'm putting the balsamic on, if I can get it open, is because it's in my coleslaw dressing, and I think it'll be a good addition. So there you have my take of a tuna poke bowl. Jasmine rice, edamame, red cabbage coleslaw, and so nutritious this bowl is. That's got to be 25 grams of protein, and there's 10 grams in the edamame, full of fiber from the cabbage. Carbs are the jasmine rice. There is nothing in this meal that your body won't thank you for. So let me know if you try something like this. That is tonight's Lori's Tuna Poke Bowl.